So girl, she's just gonna skip a week and not tell us.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert! This video may contain spoilers. A spoiler is something that happened in the episode that may ruin your first time viewing experience if you haven't seen the show yet. Aleigha Nicole will not be held responsible for any aw man, dang it, or any other shock value reactions. Enjoy.
So while half my friends are sick and my roommate is currently obsessed with the dean, I actually came through for one of my friends today. Like, I felt good. Like, I'm just so glad that I'm actually learning to be like a real true friend to all these friends I magically have. Oh, and I threw away the pills, so I'm not taking Addy anymore. For real this time. Watch out world, I'm grown now. Nicole here, Nicole, to help you thrive during college, and this is Grown-ish Lessons for Grown-ish episode number 9. Alright, so let's give a quick recap in 60 seconds, or let's go. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, or hip-hop, you know, for us black people. Calumet was under a major lockdown after the campus top drug dealer got shot. Is he dead? He got shot in a very interesting way too. So while all this huge drug war stuff is going on this campus, Vivek does the complete opposite of what everyone else is doing, you know, staying low. He's just like, nah, like I'm about to take advantage of all this opportunity, okay? And he ends up getting deeper into the, you know, the underground drug world. We see some of the other students' germs are being spread across campus, and we also see a very, very interesting change in little Zoe. The main things we're taking away from this episode is being sick in college, and you know, we're just gonna talk a little bit about Zoe and just her growth from, you know, that first week of college up until now, and also just knowing how to be a true friend and realizing and understanding who your true friends are. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, and we're gonna also be talking about, you know, not being your complete foolies, not being who you really are, because there was somebody in this show doing a whole lot of that. The twins end up getting sick, and they're just so confused on what they don't know how to take care of this. So they don't know what medicine to buy. They're like, over the counter, is that a brand? And it's just so cute to watch that, because there are a lot of freshmen who are just like, you know, when you're out on your own for the first time, you don't really know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Your parents usually, you know, have done all this stuff for you. They bought your meds. They did, you know, they took care of you when you were sick. But now it's like, okay, you're here in school by yourself, and you're like, I gotta take care of me. Yes, you gotta take care of you. So here's some things that you can do as a college student if you find yourself getting sick, which you more than likely will. Even if you're not a person who gets sick often, it's just when you're in college, it's just so much easier to catch germs with people, because first of all, I mean, it's a small, like, a college campus is its own little world, especially if you're living in a dorm, close proximity with all these people and just sharing stuff, you know, the bathroom, the sinks, the toilets, all of that. These are germs that are just so easily spread around. Not to mention, you know, college students, you know, in this hookup culture about, you know, just kissing people and, you know, playing games like drinking games or drinking out of the same cups and all that. It's just now the twins, as well as Aaron, and there was another guy. Was he in the show before? Anyway, it was just another random guy. He was sick, and they were just all being, you know, shaked together. But they never really knew what originally made them sick. We got to see that it came from Dean Parker when he was like feeding some birds or something.
Bitch, disgusting.
So Dean Parker was like feeding birds. Then he gave Aaron something. I guess, you know, he didn't wash his hands, and Aaron, like, why you don't pick up free food from somebody? Say that's nasty. But he did that, and then he went and gave the twins a high five, and you just see germs just spread. Like, some of the things that you want to do if you ever find yourself sick in college. The first thing, you do want to notify your professor. If you know that you're going to miss class and you have to miss class, let your professor know. Now, they may or may not give you an excused absence, because they usually want a doctor's note. And you don't always have to go to the doctor for every cough, sneeze, and, you know, sore throat that you have. So that used to just get on my nerves. Like, you want a doctor's note? I'm not even going to the doctors. Like, I just don't feel good. Do you want me to get you sick? But I would still notify the professor, just so they know why you're out of class, even if it's not going to be an excused absence. And this is why I've always said in previous videos, make sure you know somebody in the class, have their number, number so that you can get notes from them when you miss class, such as when you're sick. Because emailing the professor, you know what I'm saying, oh, what did I miss? They ain't got time for that, okay? Now, when you feel better, you know, you can go to their office hours and, you know, catch up if you need to. But like I said, make sure you know somebody in the class so you can get, you know, caught up to what's going on. Check your email, check Blackboard, make sure you're doing your work, all that. Now, do not take a whole week off just to rest and skip class. That's no bueno. You know, the main thing I would say is when you start to feel yourself coming down with something, that's not the time to skip class. The time to skip class is when you feel at your worst. So if you feel a little okay, then the next day you wake up and you like can't talk, your voice and your stomach is just that's the time to stay in your room, secluded from the rest of the campus. Thank you. And because in college you usually have class every other day, like you have classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then you have the same classes, you know, on Tuesday and Thursday, I really wouldn't try to miss more than a day of whatever class. So if you have to take 2 days off and you're missing like your Monday class and then your Tuesday class, but you back in class on Wednesday for that Monday class you missed, like that, I would do that. Oh, and I also wanted to mention about the whole like skipping class thing when you're resting. Now, if it is one of those situations where you have to take a whole week out, then you probably should be going to the doctor to get a note for that. But if it's just a day, you know, you should be good. Go to your campus health center. If you didn't waive that insurance fee, you know what I'm saying, so you couldn't get that refund check back at the beginning of the semester, you can go to the health center, you know, they'll do it for you, you know, free. If not, you probably will be billed. I honestly don't even know how that works. I think I owed, let me shut up. Now, not only do you need to be telling your professor that you're sick, but you also need, if you have a roommate, let your roommates know. Now, whether they choose to stay or have no choice but to stay in their room, at least they know. Okay, all of this sick talk, let's talk about Zoe. I am just so proud of Zoe. Like, she has really, we saw a lot of growth for her for this episode. The way that she covered up for Vivek while he was in the hospital, his parents came and just wondered like, why is he in the hospital? What's going on? He got jumped because, you know what I'm saying, he's trying to make his way up to the tippy top in this drug game on campus and all that stuff. And you know what I'm saying, it ain't that easy. And that's another thing that I wanted to touch on too, about pretending to be somebody you're not. Like, you can clearly see Vivek has a problem when it comes to like this poor kid mindset that he feels he's had his whole life. Even though he has both his parents in his life, he's just like, you know, I want to be accepted by the rich kids and I want to have this and that. He really is pretending to be somebody he's not. And you see that so much when you first get to, I mean, you see that in life, period. People out here pretending. But you notice so much your freshman year, like people are really just like, they just fronting. Yeah, most of the people from your college probably don't know you from high school, but you pretending to be something you're not. It's a difference between like reinventing yourself, being a better you. But when you're just like completely, this is not who you are, people can very easily see through that.
I'm over this dumbass school with all these fake ass people.
But either way, Zoe was there for him as a friend as much as she could be. Even after covering up for him, after she found out that he's selling like hard drugs like coke and stuff. Now, after the whole situation, he got jumped and he's still doing it, she made a decision to throw away them pills. So can we give a round of applause? She's not taking Addie no more. But y'all know how this show goes. Next week she could be snoring up something in the bathroom. Who knows? I hope not. But honestly, when you have a friend that's doing something that you don't agree with, all you can do is be a friend to them and love them as much as you can from a distance, whatever. Because at the end of the day, people gonna do what they want to do. But I like to see the growth from Zoe. Like from that first episode at that party when she left Anna there throwing up and all that stuff, like, so being there for Vivek, we just saw so much growth there. So for you, when trying to just decipher, ooh, big word, who your real friends are, look at what Zoe was doing with Vivek. What Zoe did with Vivek is a good friend. What Zoe did with Anna, the first episode, is not even a friend at all. So the main thing we're going to take away from this episode is when you're in college, you have to learn how to figure things out for yourself. The twins figuring out, you know, well, what medicine? I don't know what. Then you have Zoe being very dependent on taking Addie. But she came to the realization, you know, through what happened with her friend Vivek and all that, you know what? I shouldn't be doing it. But she made that decision on her own. Because even when you know you're not supposed to be doing something, like Vivek, he's really deep in it right now. But it's just like, you eventually, hopefully, come to that realization where you're just like, you know what?
Nah.
And that's when you know that you're growing. Alright, y'all, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos that I put out. Please hit that notification bell. And we'll see each other in the next video. Real episode 9. Where's my phone? Oh, my phone's recording. Oh, I need a computer. I said go away. Alright, so the main things that we're going to take away from this episode is, what are we taking away? Well, half my friends are on probation. They're in jail. They wonder why we in here, because we in L already. I ask if my skin pale. What I didn't sound like Eminem or Adele. And one more time for the bit. Okay, Jacob coming out through my spirit. Cut. You can catch more Grown-ish lesson videos over here.